Just down the road from the National Historic Site is something new in town. It's been here about a year now. I think it opened in July of 2023. We've been looking forward to seeing this. This is the U.S. Marshals Museum.
After several years of intense competition, Fort Smith, Arkansas was chosen as the site for a museum honoring the United States Marshals Service due to its 200-year history as a Western frontier military post. Then, after numerous setbacks which repeatedly stalled construction, the museum finally opened in July of 2023, 16 years after construction began. We were struck by the museum's unusual architecture as we approached it. It's modeled after a modified star pattern that symbolizes the star insignia worn by the U.S. Marshals. The first things that we noticed when we walked inside the building were the single-level layout that makes it accessible to all and the view of the Arkansas River. Then we noticed they have wheelchairs that you can use for free if you have mobility issues. The museum is made up of immersive galleries that depict how the Marshals Service began and how it has evolved. They explain the Marshals' critical, ever-changing role in upholding the rule of law, which is motivated by justice, integrity, and service. The museum's National Learning Center hosts educational programs on the Constitution, the rule of law, and civic literacy. Becoming a U.S. Marshal takes dedication, and this gallery explains the Marshal's role, how the agency was founded, its principles and duties, and the organization's overall history. The timeline explains the Marshals' history, from their founding in the Judiciary Act of 1789 to the service's critical work today. A series of interactive exhibits embedded within the timeline demonstrate the various types of work for which the United States Marshals are responsible, including court support, witness protection, fugitive tracking, and disaster relief operations management. The Campfire is the central hub in the museum. Sitting on an elevated platform in the center of the room, 4 figures from different eras gather around the flickering campfire, sharing real stories as shadowy images shift and play across the walls behind them. This is a good time to sit for a while, take a rest, and listen to a few of these stories. As you listen to the stories, notice how the mood in the room changes. After spending time listening to the campfire stories, we learned more about the frontier marshals. In the newly found United States, the marshals were the first law enforcement officers. Since those early colonial days, the marshals' role has expanded to include new responsibilities and challenges as they became the symbol of law and order in the western frontier and Indian Territory. The museum has many impressive displays, some you read, some you watch, and some you are immersed within as they explain the lives of the frontier marshals. The Old West Frontier Town exhibit has a saloon and a marshal's office as they may have looked back in the day, while other exhibits focus on Fort Smith's iconic frontier figures. One of these figures is Bass Reeves. You may have learned about Bass Reeves as we did in the TV miniseries Lawman, Bass Reeves, which is available for streaming on Paramount Plus. We highly recommend this series if you haven't seen it. This gallery shares his incredible story. He was a man who escaped slavery and later became one of the first African American U.S. Marshals west of the Mississippi River. His work mainly focused in the deadly Indian Territory due to him speaking and understanding 5 civilized tribes' languages that included Cherokee, Choctaw, Chickasaw, Seminole, and Creek. As we left the frontier, we entered a more formal gallery centered on the idea that the marshals have a duty to uphold the law. This gallery has a series of portals that led into 3 rooms, each focusing on a specific area of challenge within this duty. We were able to examine the marshals' role in the American civil rights struggle, as well as their involvement in segregation and the preservation of justice for all. Scenes and exhibits also demonstrate how the marshals played a critical role during the turbulent times such as Prohibition, violent white supremacist protests, riots, bombings, and natural disaster. In the modern Marshals Gallery, we were immersed in the U.S. Marshals' active, exciting, and broad work. Exhibits highlight tactics and technologies for tracking, apprehending, and extraditing fugitives in the United States, as well as dangerous locations such as Iraq and Colombia. Displayed along the top of the edge of the room, the names and faces of the 15 most wanted are shown. The centerpiece of this gallery is What We Stand For, an inspiring explanation in words of the Marshals, both current and former, about why their work is important, what it has meant to them and others, and what the future holds for the Marshals organization and the nation they serve. Just beyond the open area of the museum's atrium is a Hall of Honor. This exhibit is dedicated to the marshals, deputies, and special deputies who have given their lives while serving our great country. The names of men and women who died in the line of duty are proudly displayed in this beautifully lit and peaceful space. You'll find a digital interactive display that will teach you more about the fallen marshals and the sacrifices they made. Be sure to take a moment of silence in remembrance of them as you look out through the glass wall at the beautiful Arkansas River and the Oklahoma countryside. Then, before you leave, be sure to stop by the gift shop. Each item you purchase helps support the museum and its mission to teach visitors the importance of the United States Marshals, the people who put their lives in harm's way daily to ensure our safety and freedom. Our family would like to say a very special thank you to all former and current U.S. Marshals, as well as all of our law enforcement officers, military personnel, their families, and everyone else who continues to make sacrifices and work tirelessly to keep our country safe and free. We hope you'll visit the United States Marshals Museum and Learning Center the next time you are in the Fort Smith area. We're sure you will enjoy it as much as we did. We hope you've enjoyed this video. Be sure to check out some of our other videos shown here. Until next time, remember, stay safe and have fun, let's travel.